Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say that I do not know much about this game. We are going to be starting it soon, though, so if you want to come and check that out, then don't forget to go and follow the Twitch. Besides that, hope everybody enjoys. All right, boys, this is some details on the new update that's coming out, so let's watch it.
Hello and welcome to some more StarCitizen. Zin and I both have a cold, but Zin is currently pretty ill with her cold or flu, whatever she's got. So I'm going to do a bit of a rant and chat about some bits and bobs about StarCitizen now for 3.8.
That Hercules skin looked really, really sick. I'm just going to say that. I know it's not what the video is about, but I thought it was pretty cool.
StarCitizen now for 3.19 and Fleet Week, because there's a load going on over the next few months for StarCitizen. Cloud Imperium have shared a load.
Is Fleet Week the week where you can play the game for free? Is that what it is? Or is it a week where you can just play with whatever ship you want? I don't know how Fleet Week works. Hopefully it explains it. I don't know.
Of information, and I sort of want to just talk about it. So, out for 3.18, we've been waiting on this for ages now. Like, we knew it was going to be a long patch cycle back when Cloud Imperium said it sort of in the middle of 2022.
Yeah, wasn't this like a maybe 1.5 year in the way or something like that?
I was expecting it to be out at the latest by the end of the year, and, well, we are now into 2023, and it looks like we're not going to have 3.18 live until some point in March. Now, at the moment, it looks sort of like by mid.
I feel like March for them to optimize it is a really good time, though. I know like they can always promise stuff, but if there's something that comes up and they realize, oh, there's a bug here, they got to fix it, or they have to try to at least get as many bugs out of the game. So in a game like this that's massive, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt.
March. But the reason that 3.18 has taken so long is because the amount of bugs and blockers.
Exactly.
And that was largely caused by persistent entity streaming. But there's a lot.
And on top of that, they're adding a bunch of new stuff. So there's probably a lot of bugs that they didn't even know could exist. Or they did know exist, but they weren't planning for them.
Load of other massive features in 3.18 with soft destruction, with salvage, with the cargo factor. There's just a huge amount of meaty content, and there's racing. There's just a ton of stuff. Now we're going to be getting that soon, and
pirating, boys. That's right, baby. We're gonna be pirates.
The PTU, they're making progress with it. So, and they are just doing bug fixing now. There have been a load of terribly sort of aggressive blockers from.
I feel like they really cleaned up the lighting. Like going into 3.18, every single video that we have watched on 3.18 looks like the lighting is like really, really immaculate.
Lots and lots of 30Ks.
Don't get me wrong, the base game is already really good, but it looks better now.
Elevators just not working, to transit not working, and those are the sort of main terrible problems because they prevent you from playing the game. And Cloud Imperium don't really want to release a major patch that takes you a few steps backwards in playability.
True.
But they have also basically...
Because that's a big thing that was about to turn me off the game, is I kept getting the 30K crash over and over again, and I didn't know how to fix it because, like, Reddit just didn't help whatsoever. Everything that I looked up didn't help. So if there's new 30Ks that are even worse that, like, people don't understand, then that's really bad. They need to try to limit them as much as possible. I'm assuming with a game like this, they probably have testers at their facility who just have, like, 5 or 6 different accounts, download the game, get on the game, and try to see. And if they're really smart, then they have a guy that's playing on bare minimum specs for the game. Then they have a guy who's playing on like a little bit better. And then they have a guy who's playing on like a little bit better than him. And then they have a guy who's playing on like a god rig. That's honestly the smartest way to test the game, because that would tell you if the game could actually run on your specs that you're saying it can. Because that's one thing that I hear a lot of people talk about, is that no matter how hard they try, the specs are never good enough, which I just don't really see true. It could be their settings, could be the person, could be that they just need to re-download it. But I feel like if they tested it that way, they would get more accurate bugs.
Said, look, there are going to be issues with this patch compared to 3.17.5. It's not going to be
Obviously.
as stable, or at least it's less likely to be as stable. There are going to be more bugs introduced because 3.17 was a branch for a very long time and was pretty refined because of that. And the additions of...
Yeah, I mean, going into 3.18, right? 3.18 as a base should probably be a little buggy. They're going to try to get rid of all the base ones that they can find, but they're probably not going to go out of their way to be like the guy in Skyrim who's holding up a plate against a wall to try to glitch through it Instead, they're gonna find the ones that are on the surface that are really annoying, like the elevator stopping, like you said, or 30K crashes, like the normal 30K crashes. But just like stuff despawning on your ship, I saw that they were fixing that as well. But a big thing that they're probably trying to go towards is yes, we are fixing these things, but keep in mind, like, hey, there is still going to be bugs in the game, and they will get those fixed over the course of 3.18.1, 3.18.2, and so on and so forth until we get all the way up to 3.9, 3.19, right?
With all the new items in 3.18, well, they've caused a lot of knock-on
I
problems.
will say that I really love this salvage. I don't know if it was in the game before or they improved upon it or if it's something completely new, but I do really like it. When you actually watch videos of it, you can see that it's like lasering off everything. I'm assuming this probably takes a very, very long time to do.
And because of that, 3.19 is going to be built on that 3.18 branch.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
although it's called
Oh, here we
3.19, it
go.
is
Yeah,
effectively
this
a
is so cool.
3.18.x patch.
I'm
So,
sorry if I talk over him, just so you know.
we're getting 3.19 not too far in the future. It is going to be, it's planned to come out before Fleet Week. So Fleet Week is typically starting at the end of May, mid-May, end of May. And
Okay.
that means that the 3.18 patch cycle is going to be incredibly short, unless you count 3.19 as part of 3.18.
Wait, so they plan on cranking out patches then? I mean, they plan on going 3.18, we're gonna drop all this stuff, and then from 3.18 to 3.19, it's just going to be complete get rid of bugs, get rid of bugs, get rid of crashes, get rid of bugs, maybe add some things, get rid of bugs. That's all it's gonna be. And then they're gonna hit 3.19. I'm assuming 3.19 to 3.2 is gonna be like roughly the same, right? If they go to 3.2. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna skip. And then probably 3.2 is probably gonna be another big update, if I had to guess.
Maybe you should. 3.19 at the moment, we know is going to be quite a big update in regards to mining. So they're
Okay.
changing a load of the mining mechanics, upgrading a load of them, sort of refining them, making the mole actually a lot better to mine with. Sort of you can sink the lasers in it and you get less instability in rocks. They're increasing the skill ceiling, so there are some more expert level rocks. They're sort of getting stuff prepared for the dynamic economy.
Makes sense. So that way there's just not a bunch of people that are mining like the tier 1 rock and then they're going in, they're just making a shit ton of money. It's going to be like you're going to have your guys who don't really care about it and they just think it's cool and they'll do it every once in a while. And then you'll have your people who just sit there and grind it all day. And those are going to be the guys that make a lot of money from it. That's how it should be.
Going certain areas have more iron in, so Microtech has loads of iron, and ArtCorp might have loads of copper. You can go to Astrofields to
C4.
get all of these materials, and then they're going to associate the rarer ores with the more standard materials. There's a cool new ore that you can
Good
get. I
explosion.
think it's Genolite from FPS mining that's worth a lot of money.
Is this the big old dick ship? Is that what that is?
They've improved like the UI and all this, and they've changed all the stats, and they've sort of refined all the items and the minables and everything. That all of those things are changing. So it is going to be a huge mining update for 3.19. Something that I'm super excited about though is the Lawville City updates. So
It's kind of interesting. Your guy just kind of like waddles up, places a C4 basically on it. I'm assuming that's what it is.
cityscape updates, making
Or it's
Lawville
like a
2.0,
reader. Maybe that's what it
getting
is.
buildings starting to be
Not
ready
sure.
for interiors. You're going to basically find that you're able to fly much closer to the city. There's a load more detail. There's a load more going on. You can land on more buildings. A lot of
Okay.
these buildings are going to be used for missions. In the future, the next step is to give a
That's something else that I was looking at the other day because even though the city looks massive, there's not a lot to do in them currently. Like there's a lot to do, but there could be a lot more, especially for how much that they show off. So I do like that they're going to be adding to the cities, whether or not you're going to be able to buy stuff or if it's just like, oh, well, these are just residences and you can just come over here. Either way, I think it'll be cool. And then I think something that would really help this game out is if they had a render scaling. Honestly, similar to I guess what people would say is like Minecraft, right? So Minecraft has a render scaling, and with that render scaling, it's very very difficult for you to get lag, right? Like if you have a really really bad PC, you will get lag. But usually turning down your render scaling helps. And I think that that's something that they could do in this game that would help out a lot. Where it's like after a certain distance, stuff just doesn't render in, um, depending on what you want to do.
load more buildings interior.
Also, an FPS capper. I would really love to see an FPS capper in this game because there's a few games that just yes, it sucks to only be able to play on 60 FPS or 144 FPS, especially when you're competing against somebody who's playing on 600 FPS. But in a game like this, I think being able to max your FPS at like 60 or 144 or like 250, they could have like those as your three options, and then they could maybe do even 30 FPS would be so much better, because there'd just be less things that are trying to refresh constantly, and it'll probably make the game's lag go down a tiny bit.
Areas for Lawville,
Here
and
is some
then
of the
obviously
stuttering.
update a load of the other cities like ArcCorp, which is in severe need of update because it is a city planet. It will benefit the most from city updates.
True.
So yeah, really looking forward to that. Like they over doubled the size of Lawville, and they've just built on Lawville and just made it a load better. So they're not throwing away any of the work they've done. So I think a
Place
lot of people
gadget,
complain
unmineable
and
deposit.
criticize Star Citizen, and rightly so in some aspects, that they keep on doing reworks. They keep on reworking the same thing. That's
In my opinion, them reworking things shows that they care about their old areas, because they're not just gonna make something and then be like, "Oh, well, it kinda sucks, but we'll just throw it away." Like, they're not doing that. Instead, they're going back and they're working on it, and that shows that they're trying to improve upon the game and the past things that maybe they messed up on, or maybe past things that they could have done a little bit more to. And I think that's a really big step in, like, a greater direction, I guess you could say, for the game. Is, yes, it might suck that they go back and they work on the city, or they go back and they work on a ship or something like that, but they're trying to optimize every single little thing to be a part of the universe, right? And when you have something that's basically obsolete because of how laggy it is, or how bad it is, or how inconvenient it is, then no one's doing it. Maybe you have like some people who are like, "Oh, this is cool," and then you'll always have those people. But in general, most of the population of the game will not go to that area or go do that thing or something like that. And I think that's probably something they're trying to avoid, is they're trying to make it where everything is important in the game, not just the things that you wanna do.
why aren't they building and making new stuff, and what they keep on sort of changing the old. Now, iterating on the old stuff and improving it, great. Evolving it, awesome. Constantly reworking it, yeah, that would be bad, but they are doing less and less and less of that. The original sort of
I could
systems
agree
in
with
place
that.
for the game, a lot of them were placeholders. A lot of stuff has changed over the years, and they have changed the tech significantly in a lot of
Is
regards,
this the new
and
mining
lots of
tool?
stuff do need reworks or have needed reworks or huge overhauls. There are some placeholder systems that are still there. There are still overhauls and reworks that they are currently working on, but there are less and less of that sort of stuff going on each year because they are completing what needs to be done and moving towards closer to final with a lot of these mechanics, or putting them in positions so that they are future proofed. Because, yeah, really what it was is that a lot of the older systems weren't future proofed enough, and they have to sort of rework them, redo.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great way to say it, honestly, is a lot of the old systems weren't future proof, so now they need to redesign them. It's like having outdated drivers on your PC in one area and then installing new drivers in a different area. Like, it doesn't make sense, and usually it will like mess up your PC. That's basically what they're doing, right? Is that they're trying to avoid more bugs by updating old areas while they add new things in at the same time.
To them, or they're changing, and they are gonna evolve some stuff a bit more. So obviously the flight mechanics and the combat and stuff like that, they've got
The
the master
emo.
modes and the resource management system,
Yes.
and then we're going to see sort of physicalized components hopefully not too far after that. But these are
Dang, this one's really cool. So there's the other one that's like more what is it, like methodical, right? Where it's like bzzz, and then you have this one where it's just brrrr, or like whatever you can get in the time.
monumental systems that are super important for the game, that we don't know how the game's going to be affected by them until they're actually in, really. And will they require redoing lots more other bits because of that? We know that they need to bring all the ships up to a
I like that they simplified some of the rocks. I really enjoy that they have like different colors and they're highlighted and stuff. Because my dumb brain would have been like, I can't find rock because it looked the same. Where do I go? Like that would have been me the entire time.
gold standard, and have them all ready for physical components and all that sort of jazz as well, which is going to take a long time. And Cloud Imperium are expanding out their
This is
studios
one of the
and their
mining
number
ships.
of
Okay.
staff, which is great.
Is there only 2 mining ships? I don't remember if you can just add the attachment on, or if there is just 2 mining ships, or if there's more than that. Let me know in the comments below.
To help with that, but it's still going to be a long while before Cloud
That
Imperium have
animation's
StarCitizen, I
great.
think, close to being in a beta state.
I will say the rock animation exploding is a little clunky, but I'll give it to them. I mean, they wanted to add something there to make it feel like more interactive, I guess.
So just sort of bear that in mind. 3.19 as well, though, has like
I
salvage
love the
contracts,
laser.
which, yeah, it's cool. I actually really like the idea of having contracts for any mission type, mining contracts, salvage
I
contracts.
actually really like the fact that this rock, like as you mine more and more, right? It basically becomes like red hot, and then the cracks make it kind of break apart and explode. I actually really enjoy that.
Hauling contracts. Just go, I want to do this kind of mission. Bam. Let's get an area of space that allows me to do salvage in because I've bought the rights to do salvage there, and I know there's going to be some wrecks that turn up. We do also know that 3.19 is preparing the way for a lot of Arena Commander updates. Now, I'm not sure if they're all going
Okay.
to be in there or not, but they're sort of making some big changes there to try and revitalize and bring players back to Arena Commander. And if they overhaul Vandal Swarm and things.
Is this shields down thing a glitch, by the way? Because I was trying to like test out a little bit. I deleted my old character because I just wanted to completely restart with you guys. But I did try to get my ship just to see if it would work, if I could even play the game, and I just kept constantly getting this. I don't know if that was a bug or if I was doing something wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Like even when I turned them on, it was still doing it. But yeah, somebody let me know that, please.
Things like that. Great. I'll be right in there. We do know that there's a new dogfighting level around Jericho Station. But yeah, so this is all coming to fruition, 3.18, 3.19, before Fleet Week at the end of May. So Fleet Week is one of the biggest, if not the biggest event of the year. It sort of competes directly with
Okay.
Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, biggest sales event of the year. Pretty much everything's on sale, yeah? There's free fly, all that sort
The
of.
Space Expo is where they basically set out all the ships, right? And you can go and look at all of them for free. Or not for free, like you can rent them for basically like nothing. I think that's what it is, if I remember correctly. We watched what was it? The Space Convention video by Bed Banana. I'm pretty sure that's what the Space Expo was. Somebody let me know that too.
Jazz. Fleet
I know
Week, very
absolutely nothing.
similar. Lots of combat ships are on sale, and there's a free fly typically, and all that sort of stuff going on.
Okay.
But there's a few more interesting things going on. There's a lot more interaction there.
I think if there was a free fly, I would just want to test like some of the bigger ships that we saw the other day and just see how cool they are. Even if I don't get to keep them, just see what I get to work up to and the different types of things I want.
Other than just a ship expo where you can rent ships for free. So there's like a
Oh,
javelin
you
that you can do
can
a tour
rent
of.
them
There's
for free.
a
Okay.
UE fleet flying around. There might be some more cool stuff this year as well, but it's a lot more interactive, it feels, Fleet Week. And you can expect.
Yeah, there's probably tons of players there because there's probably tons and tons of players who don't ever buy like all the ships in the game. If I'm assuming, they probably just buy like the ships that they think are cool and then a few other ships. But like, if you're not in an org, for example, you're probably not buying the massive ships that you need at least 8 people to be manning. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
To be some new straight to flyable ships that Clan Imperium will be putting out almost certainly because they've been working on quite a few unannounced things, and I believe that it's mostly going to be straight to flyable. There might be a concept ship or two, but as the sort of first major event of the year, Clan Imperium are going to really want to be pushing Fleet Week because it does set the tone for the year. It does make them a
True.
ridiculous amount of money, many millions of dollars. An interesting thing as well.
Yeah, because if you can go in, you're like, this ship is on sale right now from $1,600 to we lowered the price to 900 for this event. Obviously, like I'm not even being mean to this guy, but like I'm just saying that that is why because if they do discounts or something during that time period, they can make a shit ton of money because people will be like, oh well, it's on discount, I can get it now. That's how it always is. It's in every game, no matter if it's this game or if you're playing Call of Duty or you're playing World of Warcraft, whatever it is. If it's on discount, usually people think I can get it now because it's cheaper. When in reality, it's it's
Well,
not
so
really cheaper,
Drake aren't part of
I
Fleet Week
guess.
proper. They have their own little defense con in it.
But don't get me wrong. If you do want to buy the ships and you want to have fun and you want to just play in that ship that you want, then be my guest. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm not gonna tell anybody that they can't do it either because I think that's just stupid.
Slightly different location at the end of Fleet Week, typically. I'm hoping that we might see a Drake Heavy Fighter. Now, the only reason I say that is because I've been just chatting to some people in
This ship looks pretty sick.
My Discord and in my comment sections about Drake Heavy Fighters. It's not because I've heard any rumors or anything. It's just, I'm hype about that at the moment. I like the idea of a Drake Heavy Fighter called the Manowar or something like that. I mean, maybe Manowar's a bit too big a name for a.
I love this helmet, dude. Is this something that's being added with 3.18, or can I get this helmet already? Because I might go just grind out for this helmet. I know we're a few, like what, a month away technically um, from getting 3.18, a month or two. But at the same time, I think it'd be fun to grind out for a little bit, understand how to play the game at least
Fighter.
before it comes
So
out.
that's sort of my round.
But yeah, so somebody let me know how to get that helmet. Also, let me know how to get this set too. Oh my god, this guy's crazy.
Rambling thoughts on 3.18.
I don't know if this is his gameplay. I'm assuming it is.
Looking forward to any extra sort of hidden gems that we might see in 3.19. Obviously, there's going to be other features in there and probably some new ships/vehicles. I'm expecting to see things like the Hull C turn up and maybe the SRV, maybe ship scale tractor beams, maybe additions to the cargo factor. I'll almost certainly record another video on that topic in the not too distant future. But March is coming up as well soon, and I think Zin and I are going to be sort of trying to get a video and a half to 2 videos out a day, sort of averaging. Obviously, a video and a half a day is mad because you can't release half a video, but I like to average a video and a half each day throughout a week. And we're going to be starting to get more involved with gameplay videos as well, because I think that's just a good idea. We can sort of do some of the long form missions and do a set of missions with.
I like how they have like all these laid out, and you can actually look at all of the gyms and everything. And I'm assuming you could probably even go look at all the prices too. So this is actually pretty cool, and they're all so like translucent and everything. So they're like really cut and refined down. I don't know why. I just think that that's a little cool detail that they've done.
With building up rep and stuff, and release that as a bit of a YouTube series. I think people might be interested in that. It gives a good sort of cross-section view of what Star Citizen's like, and I quite like playing Star Citizen, so it's probably worth starting to record some videos of me actually playing it rather than just covering it in the news and using a lot of B-roll. But I'm really interested to know what you think. Are you excited for Alpha 3.8?
This is how I feel right now too. I'm like, man, I should just play the game and actually just release stuff on it instead of reacting to videos all the time. But I hope everybody enjoys the reactions either way.
When do you think it's going to turn up? Do you think it will turn up by mid-March, or do you think actually it might still have some problems there? 3.19, are you expecting quite a meaty patch? Are you looking forward to the mining updates and Lorville sort of turning into...
I think 3.19 is basically just going to be like, especially if they're going to crank it out that fast, right? I think it's just going to be patches, and they're going to be working on getting bugs out of the game. So they're probably going to be testing like as many bugs as possible and trying to just get them out of the game. And then obviously they might add like one thing in.
Into a larger, more detailed city that you can actually fly a lot closer to. Fleet Week, is that something that burns in your loins? Are you excited to see new ships and to get involved?
Yeah, I think that'd be
that
cool.
Event. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Time for some shilling. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is on sale again until the 6th of March. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion.
I'll let this play in the background because obviously his ad.
Or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit. And both.
I will say I tried to have my eye tracking on the other day. I was confused. Like, it's so sensitive. Like, you can go like this, right? Like, you can just barely tilt your head. Your guy's like, oh, gotta snap my neck. It's a little ridiculous. I'm assuming you could probably, how to explain it? You could probably tune it a little bit more to how fast you move and everything, which would probably be a little bit better for me. But that was confusing as hell. It was pretty funny though, because I was just like snapping my neck and inside of my ship, just like looking left and right.
Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more.
That's the last chevron locked in, Mr. Daniel Jackson, who is legally distinct from any doctors of the same name.
This is supposed to be NordVPN.
To another world. Daniel Jackson, we're being hacked through the gates to the stars.
Oh, is that okay?
From any other gates that travel to the stars.
We'll let this play because obviously it's his ad. But I do want to say that I did really enjoy the video. He did a really good job. I am looking forward to be able to like be a pirate more and honestly just be able to do like a lot more things more. But at the same time, something that I would really, really love to see is, is I would love to see more pirate gameplay. I think that's something that I would really love to see is just more pirate gameplay because that's kind of what I'm going to be going for, or a mercenary esque. And I would also love, like I said, the other things is I would love to see like an FPS thing where you can like cap your FPS at a certain point, and maybe a rendering slider. I think just those two things alone would help so many people in the game with like their stutter issues. Because I heard people on 4090, like literally like a 4090 maxed out PC, whatever it is. I heard that they were even having issues with like stuttering here and there sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So I think little things like that would be really nice to see, and that's something that if they announce that, I would definitely be looking forward to for myself. But besides that, really good video, and you did a great job. Go check it out, boys, if you haven't seen it before. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next. Also, I am streaming StarCitizen right now live on twitch.tv/ShocksTheGoat. The link for that is down below and in my bio, or you can just look up Shocks the Goat on Twitch as well. Besides that, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful night. Peace.